Welcome back. Every week we go deeper into the stories of the Bible. And this week we are asking why a shepherd boy walked onto a battlefield and killed the most feared warrior in the ancient world. Because the answer is not what you learned in Sunday school, and it changes everything you thought you understood about courage. The year is around 1020 BC. Israel and the Philistines are at war. Again, the two armies face each other across the valley of Elah. A dry riverbed runs between them. Neither side moves. The Philistines have a weapon Israel does not. They have Goliath of Gath. He is over 9 feet tall. His bronze armor weighs more than most men. His spear is tipped with iron. His shield-bearer walks ahead of him just to carry what he carries. Every morning, Goliath walks to the edge of the valley and shouts the same challenge. Send one man. One fight. Winner takes everything. The Israelites hear him and they do not move. Not because they are cowards, because they have seen what this man looks like up close. This goes on for 40 days, 40 mornings of the same voice, 40 evenings of the same silence. King Saul offers rewards, land, riches, his own daughter in marriage. Still no one steps forward. Something is broken in the camp of Israel, and everyone knows it. David is not there. He is back home in Bethlehem, watching his father's sheep. He is the youngest of 8 brothers. He is not a soldier. His father, Jesse, sends him to the front lines, not to fight, to bring bread and cheese to his brothers and report back. David arrives just as the armies are taking their positions. He hears the shouting from across the valley. He asks who it is. His oldest brother Eliab turns on him. Go home. You left the sheep alone. You came just to watch the battle. David ignores him. He starts asking the same question to everyone around him. Who is this man? And what happens to the one who kills him? He is brought to Saul, and Saul sees a boy, ruddy-faced, young, carrying food. Not what he was hoping for. David says, "Do not let anyone be discouraged. Your servant will go and fight this Philistine." Saul says, "You are just a boy." He has been a warrior his entire life, and here is where the story turns. Because David does not argue about size or strength, he tells Saul about the lion. While keeping his father's sheep, a lion came and took a lamb. David went after it. He struck it. He killed it with his bare hands. Then a bear. Same thing, same outcome. These were not small moments. These were life or death fights in empty fields, alone, with no witnesses and no armor. And David won both. He was not an untrained boy. He had been fighting his whole life. Just not in a way anyone could see. Saul agrees to let him go. He dresses David in his own armor, bronze helmet, coat of mail, sword. David takes 2 steps and stops. He cannot move in it. He has never worn armor in his life. He does not know how it works. He takes it all off. He picks up his staff. He goes to the stream and selects 5 smooth stones. He puts them in his shepherd's pouch and takes his sling. The sling is not a toy. It is a military weapon used across the ancient world. Trained slingers could hit a target at 200 meters. The stone travels faster than an arrow. David has been using one his entire life. He is not improvising. He is fighting in the only style he knows. Goliath sees him coming and laughs. He looks across the valley and sees a boy with a stick. He curses him. He asks if David thinks he is a dog to be chased off with a stick. What Goliath does not know, what no one in the valley knows, is that Goliath may not be seeing clearly. His size, his proportions, the description of his appearance. Many scholars believe Goliath suffered from acromegaly, a condition caused by a tumor on the pituitary gland. Acromegaly causes extreme growth. It also causes deteriorating eyesight, tunnel vision, difficulty seeing things at a distance. Goliath needs a shield bearer to walk in front of him. He cannot see the threat coming from far away. A sling works at exactly that distance. The stone leaves before Goliath can react, before he can even see it clearly. David runs toward him. He does not walk slowly to buy time. He runs, fast, closing the distance, pulling the stone from his pouch. Goliath leans forward to look. His forehead is exposed. David releases the stone. It strikes Goliath in the forehead, the only part of his face not covered by the helmet. The giant falls forward, face to the ground. The valley goes silent. David runs to him. He has no sword of his own. He takes Goliath's sword from its sheath and cuts off his head. The Philistines see their champion is dead, and they run. The Israelites pursue them all the way to the gates of their cities. The victory is complete. The 40 days of silence are over in a single afternoon. But go back to the beginning of this story, because most people miss what actually happened. Everyone in that valley was fighting the wrong battle. The Israelites looked at Goliath and saw a giant. They calculated weight, armor, experience. They lost before the fight started. David looked at Goliath and saw a large, slow target. He calculated range, trajectory, and exposed surface. He had already won before he stepped onto the field. The armor Saul offered would have slowed David down. It would have forced him to fight Goliath's battle, up close, hand to hand, size against size. David would have lost. By refusing the armor, David forced a different kind of fight, one that suited everything he already knew. The 5 stones were not backup plans in case he missed. In ancient warfare, Goliath had brothers, champions of the same family. If they came too, David would be ready. Every choice David made that day was deliberate. Every piece of the story that looks like innocence is actually preparation. His faith was not the absence of strategy. His faith was what made the strategy possible. He believed the outcome was already settled, so he could think clearly about how to get there. That is the real reason David won. Not because a miracle removed the danger, but because he was free from the fear that paralyzed everyone else. Saul's army saw a giant and froze. David saw a giant and calculated. The difference was not skill. The difference was what each of them believed about what was possible. The lion, the bear, the giant. These were not random events. They were a progression, each one preparing David for the next thing he did not yet know was coming. Nothing in his life was wasted. Not the years in the fields, not the animals he fought alone, not the sling he practiced with when no one was watching. If this kind of story resonates with you, the hidden preparation, the moment that looks like luck but was never luck at all, subscribe. We are here every week, and there is always more to uncover. Goliath had every advantage that the world could measure: size, experience, armor, an army behind him. David had one advantage the world could not measure. He already knew what it felt like to face something that should have killed him and walk away. That knowledge does not show up in any military assessment. You cannot weigh it or put it on a scroll. But it was the most dangerous thing in the valley that day. The giant never stood a chance. Not because of miracles, because of a boy who spent years learning to win in places where nobody was watching. He picked up 5 stones. He only needed 1.